'cause she's a Jezebel. St. Andrew Jezebel, 'cause she's a Jezebel. St. Andrew Jezebel.
Thanks for pressing play on the St. Andrews Jezebel Podcast. My name is Ashley, and you're listening to Season 4, Episode 2. This week, we welcome Karen Smith and Britt Gonzalez from Beachy Beach Real Estate to the show. However, we won't be talking much about real estate. Karen and Britt are a mother and daughter who are both full of creative energy. Karen is the creator of My Happy Ass Life, which is a blog and a daily Facebook Live, and Britt is publishing her first collection of poems called We Are All Wildflowers. The Kindle version will be out July 22nd, and the print version will be available hopefully sometime in August. I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Season 4 premiere that featured Tam Taylor. Don't forget to follow us wherever you get your podcast, and share this with all your salty friends or folks you know who might be visiting the area soon. If you're interested in sponsoring an episode or two, please message me and I'll send you the information. Well, y'all, I can't wait for y'all to meet Karen and Britt. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite beer, and enjoy the show. Today, we are here with Karen and Britt from Beachy Beach. Thank y'all so much for being here today. Tell me, what are y'all the most excited about right now?
Oh my goodness. Like in life?
In love? In hopes?
All the ways.
Yeah.
All the ways. I am excited about what's happening in Bay County and in Panama City and the art world and the creative world. I just feel like we're like going through a renaissance kind of thing. And we just recently opened up kind of like a little satellite offices on Harrison. And we've been getting more involved in destination Panama City events and stuff like that. And I'm really excited to be a part of the growth.
Yeah, me too. I'm super excited. But I'm easily delighted.
At everything.
That's why I'm pretty much excited all the time. But I am very excited about what's happening in our county. And, you know, I tell people all the time, I'm so proud to live where I live. And it just excites me to see more and more things happening here in our art world and our comedy world and everything. It's just really, we live in a really cool place. I love it. So I'm excited. And I'm excited because, I'm getting older and I'm in my third quarter of life. And I'm super excited about what I'm planning for my next 20 years.
That is exciting. And so speaking of your new satellite office over on Harrison, there's a mural that was painted inside there by my friend Morgan. What inspired the mural inside the office?
The thing is about the mural that I knew that I had to have a mural. Oh my gosh, look at that gorgeous mural that Heather painted outside of Aaron Rich's office. I go, oh no, I want my own mural, girlfriend. So I wanted something to speak to who we are personally and as a business. And it's funny because we talked about this for about a month. I would look in books, I'd think about my favorite quotes, I couldn't figure it out. And I thought, what is the thing that encompasses me and my spirit and who I am and who we are? And I decided that I needed to do all things in the kindest way. And I knew I wanted to be hippie and love child and 60s. And Morgan was so excited about doing that. So I love the mid-century modern look. So, there's nothing but color exploding everywhere in our office. And it's very exciting and fun.
And that was kind of meant to be because I had met Morgan. She had just moved back to the area, was doing more art projects. And I'd met her in happenstance one night and followed her on Instagram. And then a few weeks later, my mom was like, oh my gosh, I met the cutest little artist and she's our style and she's going to do our mural. And I was like, shut the front door.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what else was so cool? I had already been introduced to her by Lou Columbus. Because he met her and he said, oh my gosh, this is your style. You would love this girl. So we're real funny about art. We don't use canned art in any of our offices.
How many pieces do you have at the main
office? I have 90-something pieces of art.
We're trying to make it to 100 of local art.
Of real art that we've either traveled, some was in our travels, but almost all is local art. I'd say 80-something pieces are local art. So, yeah.
I think that is so cool that you don't have some generic artwork on your walls, condo art as I call it. You have things created by real folks here and out in the world. So has the office on Harrison already opened, or if not, when does it open?
It's open, but we're not really full throttle yet. It's kind of like our little, I call it our signature series. And it's a place that our agents can go. And we do have agents go work there during the day, but it's not always open. That is my wish and my dream and my hopes that it will be open every day and somebody can pop in there. But when we found out, Brittany called me, when I found out we could have a space downtown, in the middle of her sentence, I said yes, because I was so excited about because I'm downtown all the time.
Near here in Rich Marketing, we just love those folks.
We love them so much. So creative and so kind. Yeah.
So, Karen, real estate's not your original career. What led you up to Beachy Beach?
My keeper husband, Hugh Smith, taught me into getting into real estate. And I always told my dad, over my dead body would I do real estate. Well, Hugh taught me into doing it. When the market crashed, I had to find a company to align with, and Gabe Stefani had Beachy Beach. It was no more than a sign and a manual, which I still don't know where it is, but that's what it consisted of. And I joined it, and I turned around, and there was 107 people following me. I always joke and say that I never intended to be a build company, never, ever, but I was enthusiastic and excited about what I was doing. I love mentoring people. And I turned around, and all these people were following me, and because I was so excited and so enthusiastic. And then they got there, and they said, "Oh my gosh, she doesn't really know what she's doing," but it was too late to leave. So
She knows what she's doing.
I do know what I'm doing, but I just kind of made it up as I went along, and just loving people along the way, and it just grew into this big company. And I always knew it had to be something to be a level of service for humanity and our community. So it's always been my thing.
Awesome. And Britt, you're a multi-talented person. I know you sing beautifully, and you're also a poet. Tell us about your poetry.
Oh, we're getting on the spot.
The most beautiful poetry you've ever read in your life.
Thank you. Well, being a daughter of K-Well over here, otherwise known as Happy Ass, she's always encouraged all of us to tap into our creative sides. And I think it makes it a more pleasant place to work over at Beachy Beach because of that. But I have been writing probably since I was about 9 years old. And actually, to circle back to art, that's the first time I'm publicly saying, one of our favorite local artists, Christian Anderson, just did a beautiful piece for the cover of my new poetry book, which is called We Are All Wildflowers. The ebook will be out very shortly, and then the print book will be out probably the middle of summer, shortly after that. But it's really exciting. The piece that Christian did is really beautiful. So it's kind of going full circle, getting to use local talent. So pretty excited about that.
I love that. Local poet, local artist. That's just fantastic. Now, what's something that both of you have always dreamed of?
I think both of us have always dreamed about writing and reaching people. I think for me, everything, and I know Mom's going to echo this, is about making the people around us feel seen and heard, and that all God's kids deserve love and to feel encouraged and to not have their light blown out. You know, every single one of us has this light that has to be protected and encouraged. And one of Mom's amazing gifts is she is like a pro at that. She can get the best out of anybody. It's pretty amazing to watch.
It's also it's funny, your gifts can be your worst things, because I believe with a cape and a tiara, I can change the world. And I can't necessarily always do that, but I can change the world right around me. And the thing that I'm most excited about, and I dream about, and I'm doing it. That's what's so cool. I'm actually doing what I dream about. I'm 63 now, and the worst thing you can ever say to me is I'm too old, because I will absolutely freak out and go crazy on you.
She will kick your butt.
I will kick your butt with my boxing gloves.
This has been tested.
You'll never hear me say that. I believe if we're breathing and we're alive, we have work to do on this planet while we're here, and I want to fill it up with good stuff. And I'm doing it right now. I have a dream of, I want to write at least 3 books. I'm working on one. I'm working on 2 right now. And I want to speak and encourage people, although it scares me to death. Terrifies me every time I speak. But when I go do it, I always feel good afterwards, because I feel like I'm sharing my heart. I just want people to feel better after they've been with me than before I got there. And I want them to know they could do more than they thought they could do after I leave.
So this is not a Karen saying, this is a Mary Kay Ash saying, but My mom raised me on the belief that every single person walking into a room has an imaginary sign around them that says, make me feel important. And I've watched her do that for years, and it has served me well because it is magic.
Thank you. That's sweet, Brittany. Yeah. I love it when my children say nice things about me. Isn't that cool?
Absolutely. I love it when that happens.
True story.
When they get older, they say nicer things. They don't.
I was a fantastic teenager, Ashley.
I probably wasn't either.
Okay.
So tell me about my happy ass life, please.
Okay. Gosh, that again was it kind of just came out of nowhere. My nickname has always been Happy Ass because if you know me, you'll know why. Because
if you're getting robbed, she'll be like, hey, have you had a good day? Do you need to be fed? Do you want to get something to eat?
So I'm happy. I'm very happy. It's very easy for me to find the happy in all things. And whether the world's going just right or not, I don't get all upset about it. So I'm happy ass. So I decided to start a blog right after my husband died called My Happy Ass Life. And then one day during the pandemic, I said, you know what? I write an affirmation every single day. I get up on my porch and I pray and I read and I meditate. So why don't I just share that affirmation with the world? So every single day, Monday through Friday, I'm waking up with a happy ass. I get up, write an affirmation, I share it with the world, and I tell a little story. So for under 10 minutes, I just try to make life a little happier in that space. And I've been doing it, this March was 2 years ago that I started My Happy Ass Life, Waking Up with Happy Ass. So that's what it is. And my books will all be written under Happy Ass brand, as well as speaking engagements and things like that.
Well, I think that's fantastic. And your live streams, I've been telling Raymond that they're like taking an additional supplement in the morning. I get up and I take my vitamins, I drink my water, and I listen to when you come on, and it's become it's become part of my morning routine, and I do feel better when I go to take on the day.
I could absolutely float off this chair and out into the universe right now, because that is, you asked me what gets me excited, what I dream about. This is what I dream about. I dream about doing this, and it's so funny because I did not know what I was doing when I did it, and I just woke up one day and started talking and started sharing. And some days I get up and I'm embarrassed, and I think, God, nobody wants to hear what I've got to say in all kinds of ways.
Well, I think it's great, and I commend you for your consistency and staying with it. So, since this is a show about St. Andrews, let's talk about my old stomping grounds, my home. What do y'all love about St. Andrews?
So, St. Andrews, in its quirkiness, it has just this personality that makes it indelible no matter how much time you spend there. And us being in real estate, our job is to kind of sell the sizzle of the area and make sure all people know about all the great little hot spots. St. Andrews is something that I use to show people a taste of where we live, because they may not be beach people, or, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to figure out what their vibe is. And people looking for like a walkable area where they can take in natural beauty, where they can visit local shop owners, where they can get great food, where they can get a feeling that there's an artistic community, that there's going to be live comedy and music, and there's art. That's it. That's where you take them and you get them excited about the area and their move. I could go on and on about St. Andrews. I love it.
I am in love with St. Andrews. I'm just in love with Panama City, period. Because when I go across that bridge, it's so exciting because I get to have an adventure. I get to leave my beach, which I love my beach too. But going across that bridge, I go into an adventure. And what I love about it, I feel like I'm home. Because I grew up in a little bitty town, Enterprise, Alabama, where everybody knew everybody, town of the boll weevil, and I feel like that's the way St. Andrews is, because when I'm downtown St. Andrews, I feel like I'm home. And it's quirky and it's fun. I love the ice cream shop. Oh, yes. The little ice cream shop where they have the rolled ice cream changed my life.
Wow.
And, okay, if you're wondering why my hair is so adorable and why I look so cute, I get my hair done in St. Andrews. So I drive all the way from the beach to come to St. Andrews
to
get my hair did.
It's not that far.
No, it's not for me because I listen to podcasts all the way, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, I love the boats. Amavita. Oh my gosh, Amavita. That sweet little Kirsten there, she always remembers me. It makes my cold breathe just right.
I have a ahi tuna taco habit. So I generally go to Finn's at Little Village. That's another little trick, actually. When I want people to like feel the vibe of the area, if it's like someone visiting, I will take them to lunch there. They always leave going, oh, I really like this area. I like the feel of this. So it works. They get excited.
And that kind of leads into my next question. So I know both of you have traveled and lived elsewhere and have friends probably all over the world. If you were to plan a day for fun for your friends to spend in St. Andrews, what kind of itinerary would you plan for them?
Oh my goodness. Depending on the day, if it was a Saturday, they would go to the farmer's market at Oaks by the Bay and check out all the cool things to offer and all the local goods. And then maybe after the farmer's market, maybe they would jaunt on over to the tap room, and Rebecca has yoga at 11. And outside of the tap room, there are food trucks and fun snacks and stuff. Not to mention if you like adult beverages, there's a lot of craft beer and that sort of thing. So I would do the yoga, I would hit the food truck, and then probably after that and get my snacks at the food truck, I'd probably hop on over to the other side of St. Andrews and maybe do a little bit of shopping, check out Sun Jambers, the trendy side, maybe, over there by the Publishing Museum and kind of walk around, take in the sights. And then after it gets a little bit later, probably go get some oysters at Hunt's, or maybe go watch the boats come in at Ernie's over the water. That would be like the perfect St. Andrews day, I think.
But you didn't go to the ice cream shop. How did
I'm not as into ice cream as you are.
Oh, bless you, child. I can't believe
sorry.
I've raised you that way.
I'm sorry.
I didn't have sugar for 3 weeks, but then I had a dilly bar and I thought I'd gone to heaven.
I'll get the iced coffee at Amavita.
Yeah.
That'll be my treat.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. No, I love the Copper Tap Grill.
Yes, they're delicious.
Oh my God.
That's another one of those restaurants that we put on the recommended places.
Ooh, I love
places
it.
To eat.
Their shrimp salad is so good. I love how they have different. I think it's another thing I like about them. They have artists. They have different works from different artists at different times in their place, which I think is pretty awesome. I love that. Makes me happy.
And it's so funny that you bring up that you like Copper Tap Grill, because that place started out as an ice cream place.
Did it really?
Yes.
That's very authentic.
Her
Then
soul knows that.
yeah,
My mom
Yeah,
has an ice cream
I
problem.
do have an ice cream problem. I truly love ice cream. Makes me happy.
Awesome. What are y'all's creative intentions for the rest of the summer?
My creative intentions?
Yes.
Well, actually, I am really working on that. I have been procrastinating on my book because I kept getting imposter syndrome and kept thinking that it wasn't good enough and why would anybody want to read it? And which is silly because I don't talk like that. I would never talk like that to you, my daughter. No way. Because what if I fail? But what if I fly, my dear? I believe that. But I'm going to continue to work on my book. And I've actually got someone to help me. And then I'm going to continue to work on my podcast. Thank you, Ashley. And I am going to travel some. I'm going to travel some.
Well, don't we have a business podcast that we're about
We
to do?
we do have a business podcast we're about to do. I didn't know if
count as creative.
I didn't know if we were
intention?
allowed to talk about that. But Ashley's actually, you know what's so cool about I know you're supposed to interview us, but I'm about to interview you real quick, Ashley. I'm just about to flip the table on you. So, Ashley, what I love about you, and it's so beautiful, you do something. You have a lovely podcast. You're very creative. You're a musician, but you don't think that what you have is something to be hidden and tucked away and not shared with others. You are so kind to share with me and teach me some things that I didn't know and actually help me with my Happy Ass Life podcast. And you're going to help Britt and I launch our podcast, Business from the Inside Out. And it's something I've talked about for, 2 years now, Britt? 2 years.
Probably. And then we had a trip and visited a real estate colleague, St. Croix of all places. And we just kind of had a had a brain meld and shared ideas and went back and forth. And so it's going to encompass all sorts of things. It's not just going to be real estate. It's going to be personal development,
business,
marketing,
any kind of business.
all kinds of
Actually,
fun
any
stuff.
kind of business, because the thing that I've learned in my lifetime, if you can learn all kind of skills, you can do that. Anybody can do that. But the skills mean nothing if you don't have a beautiful heart intent to be of service to your fellow man. I believe that with all my heart. I think it's my responsibility. And I think that building our insides is far more important than building our outsides. And so thus from the inside out. So I'm super excited to do it with my daughter because she's the smartest woman I've ever met in my life.
Wow, I get it, honestly.
Yeah.
I obviously will be working on the podcast with Mom. I will be working on getting the poetry book out and actually going to do some fun, creative, limited edition merchandise using some of the local artist images to kind of do full circle again. So that'll be fun. And I will continue writing. I've already started the other book, so that's started. And I hope to be singing more. I've been trying to do that more and try to connect with other musicians so that I can, like what Mom says, not keep it hidden. So we'll see.
I hope you don't keep it hidden because you have a gift, and I hope you also realize that it needs to be shared because it's beautiful and it'll just warm everybody's heart when they hear you. And I wish you all the best with everything. And I would say that regardless of the subject matter with podcasting, I believe it's always a creative endeavor or intention because it's not just about the technology. It's about the writing and every concept that you want to introduce on that show. Well, y'all, thank you so much for sharing your time with me and being here on the St. Andrews Jezebel podcast.
I'm just so happy to be here. I'm so thankful when I step out of my procrastination and I actually do these things that bring me so much joy. And Beachy Beach has been a wonderful thing. We love our company, but it's really, to be honest with you, it's just a vehicle for us to do our work here on earth, to be able to be out and be of service. So I'm excited that it allows me to do these things that I really enjoy, and that is reaching out to people, loving people, writing, and doing creative things. So thank you so much for having this space for us to do that. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ashley.
And big thanks to the Bay County Public Library for getting this digital media collab. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here on the St. Andrews Jezebel podcast. Until next time, keep St. Andrews salty. One of the best things about St. Andrews is that you can see live music every day. That's right. There is live music being played somewhere in St. Andrews 7 nights a week. Fortunately, my friend Ken Schaefer creates and publishes a weekly schedule for St. Andrews as well as most of Bay County. Ken's spreadsheet schedule is updated often when there's any changes. Ken also shares individual music events and is walking the walk and talking the talk when it comes to supporting live music. Not only does Ken supply the music schedules, but he attends several music performances a week and takes fantastic photos of the musicians. As a working musician myself, I feel blessed to have Ken and his wife Donna as treasured members of our local musical family. Make sure you like and follow Ken's page, Salty Sounds in St. Andrews, and Oh Boy Music on Facebook, so that you'll always know where all the live music will happen. Thank you so much, Ken, for everything you do. And now let's go over some community events. This Friday, don't miss the historic walking tour with Ellen. The tour meets at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. at the Panama City Publishing Museum. It's light walking, and I promise you'll learn some things you didn't know before about historic St. Andrews. The market at St. Andrews is every Saturday from 9 to 1 in Oaks by the Bay Park, located at 2715 West 10th Street. This is the perfect place to support local farmers, food trucks, and the musicians who will be performing at the tap room right across the street during the market. Also this Saturday, join Stone Loft Boat Shop for an afternoon of maritime celebration where they will be teaming up with Pathfinder Charters, providing sailboat rides for donation on a first-come, first-served basis. The Pathfinder will dock where the Governor Stone will be docked once it's fully repaired. They will be stationed across the street on the patio of the Salty Hobo, where they will have live music, delicious beverages, opportunities to win raffle prizes, and buy official Governor Stone and Stone Loft merchandise. So have you seen the new Coastal Birds exhibit on Janie's fence? It is amazing! All of the artwork was created by Floriopolis volunteers, and the exhibit is also managed by Floriopolis volunteers. The exhibit will be up for July, and the artists in the exhibit are Jim Hayton, J.D. Justice, who will be on later in the season, Heather Parker, Silas Dyer, Dolly Jewell, Annie Mae, Barbara Dyer, and some art students from Chautauqua Learn and Serve. On Monday night, don't forget you've got Monday Night Little Fest at the Tap Room, craft beer, local music, wonderful atmosphere. Don't miss it. I believe they start at 6 to 9. Then on Tuesday, July 12th, you've got one of my favorite duos in town. That's Kelsey and Tyler from 6 to 9 at the Little Village. Get your tacos and a nice beer and maybe even do some shopping. There's a comedy open mic at the library on Beck every Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., hosted by upcoming guest Janet Fortune, who will be joining us July 21st on the podcast. You can sign up in person at 7:30 p.m. That's all the community events I've got for this week. Follow Keep St. Andrews Salty for all the exciting things happening in St. Andrews. Well, y'all, I can't tell you how grateful I am for y'all tuning in to Season 4, Episode 2 of the St. Andrews Jezebel Podcast. Make sure you follow our guests, Karen Smith and Britt Gonzalez. I'll link their social media handles in the show notes below. We'll be back next Thursday, July 14th, with returning guest Tyler James, who is a fantastic local musician. It's been over a year since he's been on the show, and I'm excited for you to hear what he's up to. As always, if you'd like to support the podcast, please visit our coffee page where you can make a one-time donation. It will be in the show notes below. Don't forget to follow us wherever you get your podcast and share with all your salty friends who may be visiting soon. If you're interested in sponsoring an episode or two, please message me and I'll send you the information. If you liked our theme song, it was written by me and recorded by Dave Schwartz at Boundless Sounds on the campus of Gulf Coast State College. Again, if the podcast has brought value to your life, hit that follow button, share with all your salty friends, or consider donating to the podcast. Your donations keep me going, they help me pay for my web hosting, my editing software, gas to interview my guests, and the time spent creating each episode. To those who have made donations and been so supportive and have shared the episodes, thank you so much. Hope to see you next week. We've got Tyler James on the podcast. Until next time, keep St. Andrews salty.